Alright, so this is what I do on a daily basis without power. Get up in the morning, I've got coffee ready to go. This is a propane coffee maker. Light the top, make the coffee, drink the coffee, and put extra coffee in the thermos. I come over and check the fire. Usually I have to start the fire in the morning, or Stan does. One of us starts the fire. And then we always make sure we've got water on that's heating up. And then we take a look at how much firewood we have in here, which is not that much, so we need to fill up the firewood. We take the cart. It's a hell of a lot easier than carrying by hand. I want to do a whole day's worth at a time in a night. Alright, filled up, back to the house. Hey Sarah, you come to help with the wood? Yeah, you're a good girl. Alright, I'm going to bring the wood over. Alright, so now the wood comes from here. Goes into the house, and right now we're just utilizing the fireplace as a wood holder. So I want to fill it up. Alright, so that's enough for 24 hours. If I get bored later today, I'll take it all the way up to the top and fill in the back side. But for now, I've got more stuff to do. So now I'm going to check the fire, put in a piece of wood, and I don't need to be burning full blast, so I'm going to bank it because I'm going to have the door open and closed. But I notice I don't have any kindling, so back to the wood pile. We had quite a bit of work done to our house not that long ago. So what we're using for kindling pretty much is leftover bits, pieces, and ends, and they burn really well. So I'm just going to put in a couple days worth of kindling into our ash bucket and bring it inside. Looks good to me. Alright, kindling, check. Firewood, check. Fire starter material. Some of that is just throw on the fire to get it going again, like old egg cartons and stuff. But underneath there I've got my lint and wax and egg carton starters. So next is the daily ritual of using the restroom, which you know how that goes. And of course after that's finished, you need to fill up the back for your flush. Remember, we're filling after we use the bathroom to flush, so we don't get a habit flush, a mistaken flush. And we just pull this over and add water to it. Let's see. It's full, but you get the idea. Right? We were taking the back on and off the tank, but we've realized that's just going to increase likelihood of breakage, so we're just leaving it off the tank. So now let's cleanse our hands and get on with our day. Always important to say hello and good morning to your friends. Hello, good morning. You're a good girl. Oh, that reminds me. Chickens. Let's go let the chickens out. I actually kept forgetting to let the chickens out because we have them on automatic door. So I had to write the word chicken on my mirror in the bathroom, so I would remember the little suckers. It's warm today. There you guys go. Alright, so now let's get the battery on the charger. So we use this battery inside the house, this solar generator, and charge our CPAP machines while we're sleeping, or runs our CPAP machines while we're sleeping. Unfortunately, because our power went out in the summertime, we have been drastically under-sunned. So this has been a bitter disappointment because it's just not working, but you know, there's no sun, well, how's it going to work? So we've been attaching this to a generator, powering it up, and then also running a generator to keep our fridge and freezer cold. Today, I'm hopeful, no, not a happy face, frowny face. 11.9 volts, this says 12, I don't know which is correct. So let's hope that we get some sun today, but otherwise we'll hook the generator up to this, charge it, and this is the time where we charge up our phones and our computer. So Sarah checks all the outdoor equipment. Anyway, so that's what we would do with that. This is on wheels, and Stan will do a video on this at some point. He's the one who built it, and we will look at that later. So now what? Let's go check fuel in lanterns. All right, so the Aladdin lanterns are wonderful, very efficient. They're so efficient you don't even smell the kerosene. The lanterns we had, the Dietz lanterns, oh, I'll go grab one. I actually have 5 or 6 of these. They're awesome for outside because it's a hurricane lantern. It won't go out if the wind just blows. You really have to blow the sucker out for it to go out. But they don't burn that efficiently. They burn, well, like normal, right? And so there's a lot of fumes that come off of these, and you'll smell it inside the house. So even though we're using the few impurities, 1K kerosene, they still smell. So we just went to all traditional Aladdin lanterns. You can buy these new still. This one is about 100 years old. This one is only about 50 years old, and some of the ones we have are, 20 years old. But like 5 years ago, they were only about $199, $200 to buy a whole kit with everything in it. But now they're like $300, $400, $500, depending on how old and what kind that you get. So be on the lookout for these at estate sales and garage sales. And you'll know it's an Aladdin by the numbers and the word Aladdin written on this, and just the look. The look of it is very unusual. There are all different kinds and types. So there it is again. So this is called the Lincoln drape. Drapes like drapes. And this is a wedding drape. But I don't know much about it. So funnel, key, just keep your funnel with your kerosene. But now's the time to fill them up because they're cool. At night when you need to fill them up, if you need to, they're going to be hot as hell and you're not going to be able to fill it when you need it. So anyway, that's on our list to do in the morning, and we've already done it. So you can see the line is up to here, and this one you can't see, but it's full. And then we have one over here, which is another oldie, and it's got a shade on it so it doesn't blind you. And it's full up to there, which is plenty. And this is, like I said, also an old one, Aladdin, but the shade makes it so it doesn't blind. All right, on to the next task, which is water. All right, this is washing water, but also drinking water. It's full up to here, which tells me this needs to be refilled. And these down here, these have drinking water. This one had rainwater in it. It does not any longer, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this, and I'm going to fill up that other container with these. You guys probably already know this, but on a lot of these drinking containers, you have the funnel built in, so you just, or funnel, pouring spout, I guess, pop off the thing all together here, take the cap off, turn this upside down, put it in here, and now you can reattach, and you have a good pouring spout. Now just remember the venting hole. If you want a free pour, you need to pull it out. If you want a more controlled pour, you can leave it in a little bit, but then you get that glug, glug, glugging. So I'm going to give this a shot. It's a pretty full container, so I'm probably going to get a little spillage, but it's the price of doing business. And remember, the one I'm pouring from, 6 gallons, so it's about 40 something pounds. Alright, so now time to do morning dishes. I like to have a bowl in here. I only have a one-sided sink, or one-size sink, so I put a little water in there. I bring the hot or warm water over from the stove. Make a little suds. Figure out how hot that is. Add cold water to it. And then I'll go ahead and do the dishes. Which means I gotta go collect them. I'll be right back. So while I'm putting up the dishes, what I need to do right away while I'm thinking about it is get more water back onto the stove. I might need it for rinsing, I might need to do more dishes, but no matter what, I always need hot water. So I'm going to take the rest of this container, potable water, fill this up, get it going. And if I put a lid on it, it's going to get hotter faster, pressure and all that. So I'm going to find me a lid. Alright, so we need to finish up our water evaluation while the dishes are soaking. So this is obviously empty since we just used it to fill up. I bring my empties out here so I can have an eyeball look. These I just filled up with rainwater, so they're full, and these are for bathroom use only, so they're the rainwater ones. So I bring them in as needed. So empties go over here, and they're all this lighter color, except for the blue block in the kitchen. These dark, bigger ones with the spigots on them are for bathroom only, and they're both full of rainwater. So water looks good for today. That is something to talk about. Filled it up, brought it inside, let it sit for 24 hours. There's a small leak in the bottom of it, which we didn't discover until the whole floor in the kitchen had water all over it, just a little bit at a time. So make sure your shit's not leaking. Can you hear that? And the battery bank is gone. Sounds like the generator is here again for the morning. So Honda 3000 from our neighbor. Thank you very much for loaning it to us. They're out of town. We keep their freezer and refrigerator cold while they're gone, and they loan us their generator in return. So we power for in the morning for an hour, and at night for an hour just to charge up all of our stuff, but otherwise we are strictly without power, except for what we can make ourselves. So that has been a real boon, is to have the generator, which of course is now next on our list of things to buy. Because obviously we can't depend on solar here, which was what our plan was. So anyway, lesson learned, right? Today's day 8 without power, and yeah, let's get on with our day. So, time to do some cleanup. It's really easy not to want to clean during a time like this and just be lazy, but your world is a lot better place. Things make more sense if things are clean and tidy. So for the next hour, that's what I'll be doing. Sarah and I decided to take a walk since the sun peeped out for a minute. I just wanted to show you guys, this is a hazelnut tree field. And then of course we're in Oregon, home of homemade beers and such. That's hops. And then on the hill where that house is, you can see those solar panels up there, that's all vineyard. And it goes beyond through that little green area, and then there's more vineyard. That's part of Lady Hill Vineyards in Oregon. I believe that's what it is. Lady Hill's over there somewhere, but I think this is part of theirs. Anyway, so we've got that, and then we're at halfway point, so we'll turn around and walk back. Go past some more hazelnuts, also known as filberts. But anyway, a little sun came out, which is awesome, but I also see it might rain, so we're going to hightail it back and continue our day. Hi you guys, so still moving forward with the day. Coming in here to check some of the things I've started. I started these seed onions. I'm in the hoop house. And just looking at the peppers. I mean, they're all dying back, but they're supposed to, so that's cool. Trying to root rosemary and some mountain hydrangea, so I've got those going. Everything feels good. And just check on the fuchsias, growing grass. So, you know, we went from all that freezing rain, and now we're, geez, I think it's about 40 degrees or so today. Crazy. But nice, and it's warm in here. It's about, I don't know, how warm is it in here? 40 degrees outside and 65 inside. Something like that. Checking the asparagus. Everybody looks good. They're damp. Fuchsias didn't die back all the way this year. Gosh, look at that. That's a little bloom coming on. And got these guys over here. Doing pretty well. This one just has this one going, but that is okay. And then we have some stuff we planted for a winter garden. You remember that? Here's some mustard. Got some onions. Spinach, that was a failure. Plus it just takes too damn long to grow anything. Some radishes. I was going to see if I could get an actual radish. And let's see. Here is some Swiss chard. Now looks like I'm doing better growing moss than Swiss chard, but really I just went in there to get the gloves. I've got this spoiled hay here, and I'm continuing my Ruth Stout garden experiment. So let's go ahead and throw some more straw on here, spoiled straw. We'll play with this again next year. And I want some greens for dinner since I'm looking at all my greens. So I noticed in the field over there that there's wild mustard. Wild mustard greens are coming up. So we're going to go over and pick some of that for dinner tonight. But let's get started here for now. Alright, good enough. I'm going to keep this baling twine though. You'd be amazed at how many uses there are for this. And yeah, so a nice little spot here. On that note, let's go get some wild greens. How's that sound? Alright, so here's some wild mustard greens. Mustard has a pretty particular shape. It's got these little leaves down, one big leaf at the end. It also kind of has these goosebumps on here, and they're pokey when they get older. Like, you wouldn't want to eat it raw because it's kind of got stickers on it. Soft kind of stickers, but nonetheless you don't want to eat them. So we just picked just like that. Tender ones are the best, I think. Look it up in your area to make sure you're picking the right thing, but as far as I know, mustard does not have any poisonous lookalikes. So as long as you're in the ballpark, you are good. But again, that's my understanding. my area. And your area might be different. So we pick these, leave kind of... Remember, all of this was frozen solid. Here's a little big patch over here. Oh, and here's a tall one. Look at that. So it's just been a few days. And everything's thawed, so some stuff is going to be kind of funky. These spots, either from bug damage or from the frost. But it gets big and tall, and it will flower. Here, they're usually yellow flowers. And you can eat the seeds, you can collect the seeds, plant them yourself, or eat them. I'm sure you could even make ground mustard from them. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and continue this, and looks a big patch right there, and we're going to have it for dinner. All right, so what do we have going on here?
Zodi hot water shower system.
Zodi Outback Gear Extreme SC shower container. SC.
It's an old school fire suppression pump that's been converted into a pump pressurized hot water system.
So you put in like 3 gallons of water into here, and you close the top, and so you're heating it like a tea kettle, right?
Right. It's got a temperature gauge on the side.
Where? Oh, right here.
So when it gets to about 105 or so,
Yeah.
you take it inside and we hook it up to a hose that we've mounted, zip tied in the shower, and then you pump up the tank to get pressure, and then use the little red
This thing?
gate valve there to turn on and off the water. So you kind of do a get wet, soap up.
A Navy shower?
A Navy
Is that what they
shower,
call that?
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, it's got all the directions right here. And you've used this before.
We both have, yeah.
What do you think about it?
Oh, it's great. Works fantastic. It's as easily as good as an RV shower.
Cool. And like you said, you get pressure because you
Yep.
pump this down like a sprayer that you spray your trees with or something. So just throw it on some propane, like.
And you could do it over a camp stove. You could do it. You could heat it any manner of.
You heat it on your barbecue. Anywhere you could get.
Heat. Yeah, I probably wouldn't put it under an open flame, like in a fire pit. But I put it over, like, if you had a piece of steel or cast iron that you could use as a hot plate, and you could set this on top of it, so it's not getting direct flame and soot from the fire.
And this is stainless steel, right?
Stainless steel, yeah.
And then I assume that this thing over here is a pressure valve.
Yep.
So if you boil it too much, it just pops off.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're an idiot if you let it go too hot.
Some people don't know how to do these things. But you know, they blow up their pressure canners too. So what's this? Just to hang?
Yeah, you imagine to hang the whole setup from something.
Oh, yeah, like on a wall or something. All right, so when this is hot, maybe.
Gosh, I think you run the hose or something to run through that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll play around with it and see. It's been a while since we've used this, so yay for showers tonight. Okay, so next time, or when it's ready, we'll cut to there and we can see how it's used. All right. Sarah, are you gonna take a shower? You want a bath? No. Yes? How about just a stick? Give me the stick. Give me the stick. You're pulling it up to about there, or a little less? Little less. That's what I wanted to see. And then how do you pressure it? Woohoo! Cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Alright, so got it hooked up here, pumped up to pressurize it, and it is attached to the shower head. So actually, would you just flip it on and I'll just look just for a second. We'll look at the string. I'm above your way above your head. Don't worry about it. Wow, perfect. So that's great. So there you have it. So you take a shower when the power's out for 9 days. Anything else?
No, I was just gonna...
Alright, so while the shower's heating up, making some dinner. Lots of barbecuing. And, well, we can cook on the stovetop. So, got this going out here, and then on the stovetop I've got some wild mustard greens that I picked from the other side of the fence from the field over there. And some Swiss chard that we had in the yard. So, that will be our side. Yum. Somehow some of my Swiss chard spots made it, so harvested some of that as well. Right. Greens. Greens. Greens being cooked with the headlamp. Alright. Some tortillas going with the chicken and greens. This is very hot. Yum. So what do you have here for dinner?
Good chicken and fresh
Tortillas,
fresh
which no cheese, hot sauce, greens. You know, I got the mustard greens from the field.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy. Bon appetit. Got the shaded lamp going. Isn't that beautiful? Gives us a lot of light in here. Cool. Let's eat. Alright, post dinner dishwashing. I'm sure this is quite exciting for you, isn't it? Getting ready to sit down and watch a little recorded something, download from either Netflix or Amazon. And yeah, so this is a day in the life of someone without power, frankly. It's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Alright. Thanks for watching, you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Alright, one more thing before we go to bed. We need to go put the chickens in the coop. I'm sure they're in the coop, but we gotta lock the coop before we actually sit down and start watching any TV. So, this is a bicycle light, but man, it is bright. Of course, it started raining, but we'll just run out there real quick and put them to bed. But I just wanted you guys to see, you should have at least one or preferably 2 or 3 really good lights. And these are very good. As you can see at night. Well, I guess you can see in the light. Not really at night, but you know what I mean. Alright.